you're allowed to either like time travel or, you know, fucking whatever, like altered fate, whatever it requires to basically save 3 musical artists from dying at the time that they did. Who are you picking?
Oh,
like
fuck.
Like I wasn't sure.
I mean, Bowie's taking one spot.
Yeah, well, because so that's the interesting question: is how much does it change, right? So like, if it's an artist that died of something like substance abuse, does that mean like you go back and like stop them from being like, you know, addicted or having that problem with it or whatever? And like, would that change their music or like?
It would change the music.
Yeah, like some of them it might, but some of it,
he
might
died
not.
of cancer.
Yeah, David Bowie's like he died of cancer. So if you could just go back in time and cure David Bowie's cancer, like you get a lot more like good years of music out of David Bowie. Like,
right? Because his last album, Black Star in 2016, I didn't like it, but that's only because it was really depressing because he knew he was dying when he wrote it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
So if I took away his cancer, like maybe he would put out some good shit.
Then Black Star is like a completely different fucking album if it even gets made at all. Like it might just be completely different. Yeah, it's
White Star.
Yeah, it's like are there? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's man, my liver sure does feel great today. Star.
Right.
Yes. So, yeah. Like
the thing is, he's a complicated one because his cancer was. It was liver cancer. So, you know, he fucked up his liver with alcoholism and drug use and whatever, and that could be linked to it.
Yeah, okay. Because, I was thinking about... I was thinking about certain answers, and the first one that jumped to my head was Jimi Hendrix. I was like, yeah, you saved Jimi Hendrix, obviously. But then I was like, well, he died of, like, drug overdose.
Oh, that was 100% drugs.
Yeah, I was like, he died of a fucking drug overdose. Like, if you save his life, like, he's dying of a drug overdose, like, a month later, right? Like... Because the only way you like stop him from dying of a drug overdose is make it so that he just doesn't ever get hooked on drugs, but like then the music is completely different.
Right. Exactly.
It's like
because he was the start of psychedelic rock too.
Yeah, so. It's like all his shit was so it was literally just psychedelic. Yeah, it's like he was just tripping fucking balls all the time. Like
you know what? There's actually one I have to check to see if we're dead because I can't.
Okay. And then I think there's another funny aspect to this question is like, who do you choose to just like stay dead? Like
to stay dead?
Like, are there any that like?
All right. Oh, you mean like who are you not picking?
Yeah.
Well, I think John Lennon would be who I'm not picking.
That's exactly who I thought too. I was like, I'm not a big Beatles fan, but I think even if I was a Beatles fan, I would be like, no, John Lennon had his time. Like. I'm not going to stop John Lennon being assassinated. Like, whatever.
That would be an easy one. Like, you wouldn't have to think of the ramifications or anything because he was shot. You know?
Yeah, it's like, you just go and slap the gun out of that guy's hand, and then John Lennon lives, you know, however long he was going to anyway.
So there's nothing to worry about in terms of, like, will that affect his music?
Yeah. The problem is then there would just be more John Lennon music.
Right. So at the time of his death, he was a shitty artist.
Yeah. Yeah, like you're actually.
So I don't think I would say him.
I think John Lennon being assassinated is the best thing that could have happened for his career. Like, unironically, the best thing that could have happened to John Lennon in terms of like leaving a legacy was him being shot there. Like, I feel like he was only gonna fall further.
I just checked on another one.
Okay, who was
it? Sid Barrett.
Sid Barrett. Oh, I know that name.
He was the original bassist from Pink Floyd.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then he went fucking insane and got locked up.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't remember.
So that would change Pink Floyd a lot, though. So that's the only thing.
Yeah. Well, I think I do
like
have
his
one
songwriting was very different.
Yeah. I think I do have one that's like a shoe.
And a lot of their music afterwards was inspired by losing him.
Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. That would be
so like
that would be interesting to see.
Wish You Were Here. That whole album is about losing him.
Which one is? Oh, fuck! Wish You Were Here. Okay, yeah.
Wish You Were Here.
Yeah, Shine On You Crazy Diamond.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah, I think that'd be interesting. And then should you do it to change not just like an artist, but like if you could save someone related to an artist to change their music drastically, like do you go back in time and stop like Eric Clapton's son from dying? Like that drastically changes.
Oh God, dude!
That drastically changes.
Tears from Heaven.
Yeah,
Tears in Heaven.
Tears in Heaven never gets written. That song never happens if his son doesn't like fall out that window.
Right.
I think I had one that was like a clear shoe-in, like you got to pick him. I'll say Bowie's a good one. Just like go back in time, somehow stop David Bowie from getting cancer. Bowie's a good one.
You can pump out some more things.
Yeah, I think me and my brother settled. John Bonham definitely has to be on there, even though he died of like alcoholism.
John Bonham.
Yeah, John Bonham. He's the drummer for Led Zeppelin. Yeah. Like Led Zeppelin broke up because he died. Like they didn't break up, but like they stopped making music because he died. Like he drank himself to death.
Right.
Day, and they were like, all right, well, you know, it's disrespectful.
So kept going.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, it was like Zeppelin was fucking killing it, and then John Bonham dies, and they're like, all right, well, that's enough. Be disrespectful to keep going, and it's like,
well, I know they were tired.
Yeah,
because I forget if it was Page or Plant, but I think it was Plant. Plant really didn't want to do In Through the Outdoor was like one of the last albums. He really didn't want to do that, but it was amazing though. I love it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I think like
it's got Fool in the Rain. That's one of my favorite Zeppelin songs.
Yeah, I think those four guys still had a lot of good music in them.
Right, they were capable. They just didn't want to anymore.
Yeah, well, it was like they were sort of losing interest, and then John dies, and they're like, yeah, that's a good sign to like stop. They're like, yeah, it's not the same without him.
Yeah.
So I think he's like a clear like, yeah, you bring him and Bowie back. John Lennon can stay getting shot. Yeah. That's fine. That's like,
what about Mercury?
Oh yeah, Freddie Mercury. Well, then, but that's an interesting one because I think you got to frame the question as like if you do stop him from dying, he especially I feel like needs this one is like you got to make it so that he can't die of the same thing twice. Because like, he died of AIDS.
Oh, he just doesn't get more AIDS.
Yeah, it's like if you go back and like stop him from dying of AIDS, like he would just immediately contract AIDS again.
He can't just get AIDS.
Like
again.
He was a gay dude in like the 80s. Like he was getting AIDS. Like
it's bound to happen.
And he wasn't just like a regular gay dude. He was like a rock star gay dude.
Fucking everybody.
He's fucking he's fucking Mick Jagger and David Bowie and everyone that they've fucked. And it's like in the middle of the AIDS epidemic. Like, dude, Magic Johnson got AIDS. Right. Freddie Mercury is dying of AIDS. So like, if you just like go back and like give him like immunity to AIDS, then it's like, okay, I can see that. I think that would be a good one.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to see, like...
I think he's worth saving, like, music-wise.
Yeah.
Because they were still putting out good music in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like... I mean, how soon after Live Aid did he die? Like, I don't remember when Live Aid happened, but it couldn't have been, like, super long.
He died in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
I think he died in the 90s.
Oh, I gotta
so he had a little while.
Okay.
Live Aid was like the end of the 80s, I think.
I don't know. I'm Googling. Let me see.
We're going to Google it.
Yeah, all right.
All right, you Google Live Aid, I'll Google it.
I was already doing it too. It's perfect.
Freddie Mercury. Death.
Live Aid was 85.
91.
Okay, so it was 6 years after.
The end of 91.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. All right. Yeah, like I think Freddie Mercury is a good one. I think David Bowie's a good one. I think John Bonham's a good one. Because like it's just funny thinking about it, like how many you would like save and then would just immediately get themselves killed in the same or almost the same way, or like would just die anyway.
Well, do you believe in the Lennon assassination theory?
I've never heard of this. What, that it was just
So,
John Lennon was assassinated? I believe that probably happened.
well, I mean, like, there's a difference between murder and assassination, right?
Oh.
Like, murder is just murder. Assassination is for political gain.
Oh, okay.
Or for a political cause of some sort.
Oh, okay.
So, some people do use the word assassination when they refer to the death of John Lennon, and some people don't.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that will go so far as to say that, like, you know, maybe the government ordered a hit on him or some shit because he had a huge influence. You know, he was an influencer at the time.
Yeah.
And he was a communist sympathizer in the early 80s, which was like, or late 70s into the early 80s,
shit.
which was
Okay,
like big
yeah.
no-no. Yeah.
Huh.
So somebody with that range of influence.
Oh, okay. I've never
Could've
heard
been
that
bad
before.
news.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who was the guy
So
that
he
shot
died
him.
in 1980, which was like, what?
I was going to ask, like,
I forget the dude's name.
okay,
It's just some dude. But
Yeah.
like, people think it could have been a hit or something.
yeah, I was going to say, like, because usually a lot of those conspiracies, like, they spring up from like the background of the person that does the shooting.